I thought I knew my boss until I saw him on the news. What I discovered next changed my life forever. I always thought my boss, Mr. Calloway, was just a normal man. Strict, professional, a little distant, but fair. He never talked about his personal life, but that wasn't unusual. Some people just like their privacy. Then one evening, that illusion shattered. I had just gotten home from work, exhausted, when my roommate called out from the living room. "Hey, isn't that your boss?" I frowned and walked over to the TV. The moment I saw the screen, my stomach dropped. FBI identifies fugitive in multi-million-dollar fraud case, suspect on the run. And there, staring back at me, was Mr. Calloway's face. Except, according to the news anchor, his real name wasn't Mr. Calloway. It was Martin, a notorious con artist who had been evading authorities for over a decade. My breath caught. This had to be a mistake. I had seen him just hours ago, running our Monday morning meeting like nothing was wrong. But the more I listened, the clearer it became. He had stolen millions through identity fraud, fake investments, and embezzlement schemes. He'd been arrested once, but escaped custody. No one had seen him since. Until now. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands and scrolled through our company website. His photo was still there, his carefully crafted fake bio staring back at me. I needed to go to work tomorrow, like normal. I needed to see him with my own eyes. The next day, I walked into the office, expecting chaos. I thought the FBI would be there already, that someone else would have seen the news. But nothing. No police. No whispers. No panic. It was just another normal day. At 10 a.m., I got an email from Mr. Calloway. Subject: urgent, private meeting. My stomach churned. Did he know that I knew? I made my way to his office, every step feeling heavier than the last. When I stepped inside, he was sitting behind his desk, calm as ever. The blinds were half closed, the only light coming from his desk lamp. "Close the door," he said. I did. He studied me for a moment, then leaned back. "You saw the news." It wasn't a question. I swallowed hard. "Is it true?" He sighed, rubbing his temples. "Most of it." I waited for him to explain, my heart pounding. "I never meant to involve you, or anyone else here. This company is real. I built it, but yes, my past is complicated." I stiffened. "Complicated? The FBI says you stole millions." A small smirk played on his lips. "They say a lot of things." My hands clenched into fists. "So, what now? Do you think I'll stay quiet?" He slid something across the desk. A check. I hesitated before looking down. My breath hitched. $10,000. "For your silence," he said simply. I looked back up at him, my pulse racing. "You think you can just pay me off?" He tilted his head. "It's not just for you. If I go down, this company goes down too. Hundreds of jobs disappear overnight, including yours." I felt my fingers tremble as I picked up the check. The paper felt too thin, too light for the weight it carried. Then, slowly, I tore it in half. He didn't flinch. He simply sighed and leaned forward. "I see." Without another word, I turned and walked out. That night, I made the hardest call of my life to the FBI. 2 days later, they stormed the office. But Mr. Calloway was gone. His office was empty. His computer wiped clean. His apartment was abandoned. It was as if he had never existed. Over the next few weeks, the company collapsed. Without him, the financial foundation crumbled. Employees were left jobless. I had done the right thing, but at a cost. The news covered his disappearance relentlessly. One of the greatest escapes in financial crime history, they called it. I tried to move on, until one evening months later, I came home to find an envelope slid under my door. No return address. No sender. Just my name. I opened it with shaky hands. Inside was a single item. A first-class plane ticket to Argentina. And a note. "You made the wrong choice, but I'll give you one last chance." My breath caught in my throat. He was watching me. He knew where I lived. I ran to the window and looked outside. The street was quiet. Normal. But suddenly, I wasn't sure anymore. I grabbed the envelope and ripped it apart, shredding the ticket. Then, I turned off all the lights and sat in the dark, my heart hammering. Because deep down, I knew this wasn't over. 1 year later, I moved to a different city. Changed my number. New job. New life. And for a while, it worked. No strange letters. No signs of him. I started to believe he was truly gone. Until one evening, as I was locking up my new office, my phone buzzed. I glanced at the screen. Unknown number. A single message appeared. "See you soon." My blood turned to ice. I spun around, scanning the empty street. No one was there. No sounds. No footsteps. But somehow I knew he was watching.